Hey YouTube, it's a beautiful spring day out here today. Oh wait a minute, it's a beautiful winter day out here today, but I'm out here to talk about spring. It's going to be creeping up on us before we know it. We got to kind of start making some plans and figuring out what we're going to be doing, so I thought I'd just get the camera out and talk a little bit about what we're doing. So last fall I had my shop built here, and so one of the things we're going to do here before too long is I'm going to have some guttering put on both sides of the building. And then on the back side underneath the overhang, we're going to put some water catchment tanks. And then I'm going to run some piping down into this area down here where it's kind of downgraded the building. And I'm going to build a bunch of raised beds down there. Don't know how many I'm going to build. It may just be however many I can build based on time. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And we're just going to kind of build them down in there and let the water drain, just do kind of a drip system off of gravity there, so I can just kind of turn the water on and let it flow into the beds. So let's go down and take a look at the animals here real quick. Alright, before we get to the animals and what we're going to be doing with them, I'm thinking about expanding the area here. You know, last year some of my early sets of videos when I first got on YouTube was how I turned that into a kind of small little garden plot there. We raised some corn and sunflowers and some okra, and I thought that was real successful. And I think what I'm going to do is, one, we need to expand the paddocks for the goats. So I'm going to bring a fence across here and give them additional paddocks in that direction and in that direction that they'll have access to. And then of course, you know, by expanding it this way, we'll bring the fence out along here, tie into my other garden where I've got some wood core beds over there, and we'll go ahead and till this area up. I believe in no-till methods, but in order to get everything started, I want to be able to till that up. I'll probably get some compost, and we'll take a lot of the rabbit and goat manure and compost that. I'll probably take some of the rabbit manure and just bring it on down here and till it into the soil directly. But we'll do some of that here in the spring. Let's go down and take a look at the animals. All right, now down here at the barn, we've got this covered carport that's down here. The previous owner, that's where he parked his tractor. Of course, I got my tractor up in the shop. So we're going to clear that out. It's just kind of a junky area down there, just holding a bunch of miscellaneous odds and ends. We're going to get all that stuff organized and out of the way. We're going to put some additional rabbit cages down there. Right now we've got them in the barn, but we're going to go ahead and build us a setup down there to hold some additional cages. And we're going to fence that whole area in with some fencing to be able, and some poultry wire to be able to hold chicks. And so we're going to build a little kind of a small coop area there to hold them in, and that's where we're going to raise up the chicks that we're going to grow out for ourselves and to sell. Now over here in this area, talked a little bit about the electric fence we got going on over here. It's just about time to move it. I'm not really interested in getting out here and moving it in this kind of weather. It's kind of cold outside, but this fence over here, now that I got the electric fencing and it seems to be working rather well, this paddock that I put up back here with the cattle panels and everything, I think I'm going to take it down. There's a lot of work to put it up and everything, but one of the things about using the cattle panels for my fencing is the fact that it is modular. You know, just go along there and clip the poultry wire at the bottom, and I'll be able to take those down and I'll reuse those for the goats and to expand the garden spot that I was talking about just a little while ago. We had to put down one of our male bucks. He got a very, very, very bad mite infection in his ear, and you know, it's just one of the things that we got to do. He was actually struggling the last couple of times. We've actually bred them, and so we ended up go ahead and putting him down. We cleaned out all their cages to make sure it don't transfer. We did topical treatments for the rest of them to make sure the mites don't bother the rest of them. We actually took all the cages out yesterday and covered the entire wood frame here in DE, kind of bathed the bottoms of the cages in DE. If you're not, diatomaceous earth, if you're not familiar with what DE is, but it basically sucks the moisture out of you know, small bugs, mites, and anything like that, any kind of critters you got and we'll kill them off. So hopefully by doing that, we also did some topical treatments to their ears to make sure, just in case they did have any contact with the other guy, that they're all good. But they all look good. All their ears look healthy and everything. As you can see, they're enjoying some of the barley, and I'll get to making a video on that before too long. You know, it's been one of those things where, you know, it's not gone perfect. We've had some things to learn. I've had some temperature fluctuations in that room. I think it's caused some growing problems and everything. We're kind of working that out, but we'll get a video on that soon. All right, guys, back in the grow room here, and you can see I got the barley system going on there. I'm not going to talk a lot about that, but we are going to be doing a video of that here sometime in the next week or two. I'm going to come out here and walk you through from putting the seeds in to soak to all the processes I do in the morning and the evening and everything on this guy in order to be able to grow this stuff out, and some of the issues we've had and how I've resolved them and stuff. So we'll talk about that in another video. But it's time for chicks. We put these in about 2 days ago, so 21 days will put us somewhere in the middle of March for getting chicks. We've got another one over here and some eggs on standby. As soon as we get enough collected, we'll get that one going as well. And we're going to raise some in order to be able to add back to our flock. We've lost about a half dozen hens here over the winter, and we've got a couple that are older, and so we're going to want to head and probably add about a dozen hens to the flock, cull the older ones here this year, and then the rest of the chicks we'll either use as meat birds or sell, and depending on our interest in how much people are willing to buy the chicks that we hatch out, then that may determine whether we do more than just these 2 runs. But anyways, just want to let you guys know what we're doing, and it's time to start thinking about it. Whatever your plans are, it's time to start making them. For us, you know, most of the things we do are on the weekend, and we really don't have a whole lot of time during the week to be able to work outside, because we do work full time, both Mrs. Tactical Homesteader and I. And so we get about this time of the year, it's time to start thinking about how many weekends we got till spring, and how to make the best use of them. So get your plans together and start figuring out what you want to accomplish this year. Talk to you guys later.